Good morning, RV transporters, and you know what? It's time to start the next day of this adventure, and the videos in this segment. And what a better way. I couldn't find a better way to start it than right now, going up I-70 through the Colorado mountains. We've got Eisenhower Tunnel right up the road here. What a day difference. Craig went through here yesterday. He had to wait because of road closures, ice, snow pack. He drove through with ice spots. The sun came out, cleaned it up, and now I'm coming through. And that's why I like to talk to the other drivers so that I can plan my trip accordingly, or at least make it work. Because I'm telling you, you need to have timing. If you've got timing, it's all the difference in this job. If you can time this stuff right, time your deliveries, time your pickups, time everything, and waste the least amount of time, you can double your money in this job. It's all about timing. And that's what we're going to talk about. But we're going to show you this scenery. And hopefully this doesn't turn into an hour video again. I saved this part for its own video, so hopefully it doesn't turn into an hour. I'm going to take you through this little area, then another little area, and hopefully the wind doesn't blow us off the mountain. And then I will get us to the delivery. I've never been to that place before, so I'll try to shoot a little bit of video around there and show you that place. St. George, Utah is where we're taking this, in case you forgot from the last video. But that's the plan right now. And I turned the video on a little sooner than maybe I should have, but I thought, you know, see the big mountain back there with the white snow on it, and up here you should, on your, well, it'll be on the left will be the ski area before the tunnel. But I'm hoping these roads stay this way, and I'm hoping it's nice on the other side, because if you've never done this before and you're starting to get into this and you're going to start doing RV transport and you're going to come to the Colorado mountains, all right, what are we doing up here? Get over, dude. Yep, the guy in the little car is slowing down and killing our momentum. But if you're going to come up here and you've never done this before, you need to pay attention. You need to know how to climb these hills. You need to learn your truck, your vehicle. You do not ride your brakes. You want to put your transmission in a lower gear, or your tow haul package, or if you have an exhaust brake. A lot of these hills, I can set my cruise at about 55 or 60. See the ice and snow blowing across here? That can get pretty crazy sometimes. Especially with the wind, can grab you and blow you right off the road. So that's why I wanted to show you this video, get this stuff in here, because I don't care if the sun's shining. I don't care if you're coming up here in May and it's 75 degrees in Denver. It will not be up here sometimes. Up here, there'll be a blizzard. People will still be skiing, so you need to pay attention. A lot of people avoid this route and they go through Wyoming, and if there's no wind, that is the best way to go. But believe it or not, my route is 3 hours quicker going this way. So this is where I wanted to go. I'm just hoping it works out. So you need to pay attention, learn your vehicle, learn how to go up and down these hills. I've been up here, you know, it hasn't been that bad with these newer trucks, but back with the older trucks, I'd be coming down these hills and passing guys and looking and seeing their brake rotors glowing. That's how bad it was for some of these people that didn't know what they're doing. Also back then, the trucks didn't have big enough rotors on them, and a lot of them didn't have exhaust brakes, didn't have a lot of that. The guys that had manual shift, they could control their vehicle, but the guys with the automatics, it was a whole different deal. So you want to pay attention. And I know there's a lot of new guys, and I know there's a lot of guys that have never been west, and they want to go west because they want to take their spouse with them, and they want to show them all the beautiful country, because all the stuff we put in the videos makes them want to do this. But I want you to be prepared and pay attention, because this stuff up here could ruin your life or even end your life. And that's why I'm showing it in this video. So But hopefully it's shining in that camera really good. I mean, it is still early. It is 7:29 in the morning. Yes, I did start this day at 3 a.m. Loveland Pass. I can feel the wind, but I got this fifth wheel, this Cougar fifth wheel, and it's holding the road pretty good. Well, what happens is you'll start to climb this hill and there'll be 10 trucks in this slower lane. And they'll get down to 25, 30 mile an hour. So sometimes you want to get over and just get around them, keep your momentum going, but play it safe. Sometimes slow is better. I have a lot of experience on this pass. I've double pulled. I've pulled my fifth wheel and my snowmobile trailer in the wintertime. I've pulled my fifth wheel and my 21-foot ski boat behind my fifth wheel through this stuff. And I've went up here before to go boating and froze my ass off and started snowing. And that was in July. So you got to be prepared all the time. And you're supposed to carry chains with you, I think from May to through September. I think that's what it is. I said it earlier, I wasn't paying attention. I mean, I have mine with me all the time. But if you're a wave driver, just know that you are not supposed to use those chains for any circumstance. You are to have them on board in case you get inspected, to show that you do have them. And if you're in these areas and it's got a chain restriction, you need to find a place to pull over and wait it out. Yes, it's stupid that you have to have them, but they're making you have them just to protect you so you don't get a ticket. Because I'm sure the ticket is probably double what the chains cost or more. So it's just an investment. It's a business investment. You'll deduct it on your taxes. So it's just another one of those things you have to do. But here we go. Eisenhower, here we come. But like I said in some of the earlier videos, you see how it is nice and clear and beautiful here right now? I have been coming through this area right here. It looks just like this. Come out of that tunnel and drive into a blizzard. Now I've checked all my apps. Everything says this is clear and sunny today. But unless you got somebody in front of you telling you the conditions, there's no guarantee, because the weather up here will just pop up. Well, let's get you through the tunnel. And if this is your first video you've come across of our channel, put it down in the comments and let us know. If you like me showing these road conditions and this stuff in the videos, put it in the comments and let me know. If you're thinking about being an RV transporter, Robin has the link in the description below, and you can click on that, put my name, William Sikora, in there. I will get a half a cent for every mile you drive. And then you're going to sign up all your friends, your relatives, people you meet on the road that want to get into this. You're going to give them your name so you can get a half a cent per mile. That's a program that is not being utilized the way it should be utilized. So that's why I keep putting in the videos and letting you guys know. Well, sounds like a gun shooting off, but that's his hot rod with his exhaust, right? Now the suspense. Am I going to be dealing with icy, nasty roads on the other side of this hill? I'm hoping for clear, no stress day. The suspense is killing me, guys. Oh. I told you this channel's about travel and adventure. Oh my God. How did I get myself into this? You know, I still don't know how I did this. Last January, I was bored at Robin's parents' house because she had to get another nose sinus surgery. And we had to get a doctor and become residents there and get all that and get the insurance so she could get this done. And I was bored out of my mind. And what did I do? I'm doing just like you guys, watching YouTube. And before you know it, I'm living the RV transporter dream. All right, watch for rocks. Steep, 7% grade, next 7 miles. Let's see what we got here. Coming out. Oh, no blizzard. Is that great or what, guys? Is that great or what? You know how many times that I've been through here, people trying to come up this hill on the other side, all sitting there just spinning in one spot, trying to go around them and stuff. It's crazy. See, I got my tow package going, and what I'll do with mine is I'll get my speed where I want it, and it'll stay there most of the time. And if it starts to, not hold it back, then a lot of times I'll hit my exhaust brake and get the speed where I need to be. This hill, if the roads are clear, you can run down this thing 60 miles an hour, no problem. 50, 55, if you're not used to it, play it safe. Can't hurt, right? But I have went down this with a trailer before at 60. The only way you don't want to do that is if there's a lot of traffic, because you never know what the person in front of you is going to do. I'm a defensive driver. I'm always preparing myself for what's going to happen up in front of me. I think a lot of that comes from motorcycle. I mean, when I was a motorcycle rider every day, I would see the people pulling out in front of me before they actually even did it. And I would tell people, if you are riding a motorcycle and you don't notice that stuff, or you're not paying attention and that's not happening to you and you're almost getting in accidents, then you need to get rid of that motorcycle, because you need to have that sense. I mean, that's all I can explain it to you, is that sense that you need to know what's going on. You got to be a defensive driver, and you got to be knowing what that guy's going to do before he does it. And that'll just teach you with experience. Just drive a lot. If your mind and your mind is telling you that, just listen to yourself. That's what I tell people. Listen to your own instincts. It'll tell you. A lot of times people don't want to listen to what their head's telling them. They're thinking, oh, I'm overreacting. No, listen to what your head's telling you, and you will keep yourself out of trouble most of the time. It's when you don't listen to yourself is when you have a problem. If you guys are tired of Dr. Bill, turn the volume down. Like I said, go get a beer, go mow your grass, go shovel your yard. Let the video go from the beginning to the end, so it gets pushed out to the people that want to listen to Dr. Bill. Because you are my people. And I'm trying to not use those same words. I'm one of them people. I'm an old dog, and it takes me a little bit, but I do train myself to get past that type of stuff. It just takes me a little longer than other people. I mean, it takes me a while to break a bad habit, but I'm able to do that. I'm one of those people that I do that. And some of you, it might not even bother you that I say those same words over and over. It bothers me when I go back and listen to these videos, or when Robin watches the videos and calls me up and says, you know what, you said that word 48 times. I said, did you count every word? Yep. I had to watch this video 5 times just to recount it, and I still probably missed some. So by that time, she's pretty tired of William's voice. And I'm sure with all the videos, some of you might be getting tired of it. But I think this stuff is helpful. And you know what? When you're in this truck by yourself with nobody else to talk to, it kind of gives you a release, and it gives you something to do. So if you're going to start this, and they say if you're in your 40s, you need to start a YouTube channel. It will help you during retirement by the time, because it's going to take you at least 2 to 5 years to build it. Those ones that build it real fast are usually lucky, or they've came from another kind of business or industry where they've brought people over to their channel, or they're already in this type of industry, and that's why they make it as fast as they do. But the average person, if you do it in 2.5 years, if you're able to make money after 2.5 years on YouTube, you're doing great. So don't let it frustrate you if you start, you're not getting the people. Take your videos, put them on X, put them on Facebook, put them on every social media out there. Try to bring people over to watch, to watch your stuff. At least that's what I've learned from YouTube. Don't let it frustrate you. Just do what you want to do. Put your stuff out there. Don't let other people tell you you're doing it wrong. Don't let other people try to change you. Just do what you want to do. And if it's meant to be, it'll be. And I don't even think that anymore. I think if you stick with it long enough on YouTube, you will succeed, because you will get better at it. You will make changes to make yourself better, or you will actually try to go into a different direction and still pull it off. But that's just William's opinion. But what do you think of that scenery? Look at that. That's the beautiful Colorado mountains. This is what all those rich people come for, right here. And if you want to be those rich people, just work your ass off with an RV transporter and you should be able to make enough money to invest it right and then get rich. Because you always have to take the profit from one thing and invest it in another thing, and then take the profit from that and invest it in another thing if you want to live that dream. It takes more than one thing to survive this world. And also, I want you guys to remember, and yes, I said it, nothing ever lasts. So don't put everything you have into one thing. Right now, RV transport is what I'm doing. And I could do this until the end of time if it works out that way. But I know in my mind that I know that nothing lasts forever. So always keep your eyes open for that next thing. And if you keep doing that, you'll never be those people that are, sitting there with totally nothing and no way to survive because they were relying on one thing or they were relying on one person. Never rely on anybody but yourself. Listen to other people, pay attention, learn from them, but listen to yourself and only yourself. Unless your wife is Robin, sometimes you better listen to her too, or things are not going to be fun at home. I love you, baby. That's my way of keeping me out of trouble. But look at that. We made it through it. So I am going to shut the video off now. And then I'm going to, when I get to the area on Vail Pass where all the snowmobilers and stuff are, I will turn it back on. And that's the top of that one. And then we will drive down into Vail and I will show you that. And hopefully by that time, I'll find something else to talk about. We're going through Vail Pass, guys. Right over there, they're doing a whole bunch of construction. It's usually full of snowmobiles over there. This is the other area you need to worry about. Right underneath this bridge off to your right, you should see a bunch of snowmobile tracks. That's usually where the snowmobiles are. Yeah, they're up in that area. They got a little moisture here, a little wet on the roads. Not too bad. When me and Robin came through here last time, this place was just full of snowmobiles and campers and everything parked over there. Those big expensive drive buses and stuff. A lot of people with a lot of money. And they were all over there. But we're probably, 10 miles or so away from Vail. We got to drop down into Vail. But this area here, the snow gets blown across the road. It gets shut down all the time. You'll be in Vail and you will not be able to go through here, come in the other direction. It'll get shut down the other direction before you get into the pass area too. But right here's Vail Pass. Let's see if it even has an elevation right here on here. Let's go 10,662 feet, okay? Check for smoke and brakes. I already gave you your brake lecture earlier, but there it is right there. Check for smoke and brakes. Like I said, learn to use your vehicle where you can slow it down. Here mine, it's slowing down on its own. No brake touching. And if I do need to touch the brakes a little bit, I'll touch the ones on the trailer and let the trailer slow me down. Also, if you get in trouble, have it in four-wheel drive. Sometimes you can just gas it a little bit and get it to straighten out. Or sometimes you can tap on the back brakes and get the trailer to straighten out. These are things you want to learn. These are things I learned when I was young, where I almost got into accidents, and I didn't, thank God. But until it happens to you, some of the times it's hard to explain. I think that most people that are really good drivers and been doing this, their body takes over and it's an instinct thing and they already know what to do. And people that are not familiar, they get in trouble and the first thing they do is slam on their brakes and then they make a bigger problem because now you're gonna start going twice as fast as you were. And that's not gonna work. So if you've never driven on ice and snow in the mountains with elevation, learn your unit before you start getting out here. Learn your truck. Play on some of those things they call out east. Out east, they call them mountains. I call them hills. That pisses some people off. Sorry, guys, but those are not mountains. To me, they're hills. They can still get you in trouble, and I do pay attention when I'm out there, but they're hills to me. All that stuff in Pennsylvania, all that stuff in the Smoky Mountains, those are hills, even though they call them mountains. I can't explain it to you when you're at that elevation. 12,000 feet almost. The way your ears are popping, the way you feel, and the way it feels when you're going down these with 10,000, 15,000 pounds pushing you, it's a major difference. So, and I can say that because I have driven all of them, and I've driven them with a 20,000 pound Riverstone behind this truck. And that's why I tell you, when I'm out there in those hills, to me they feel like hills. They don't feel like mountains. You get out into some of these, it's a big difference. Even when you go out to Washington and stuff, those hills, they're at 4,000 elevation and stuff. They get gnarly and nasty though. But for some reason, until you go over the top like this, it's a totally different feeling. And you guys that have done this before, leave it in the comments, because you always will. You either tell me my voice is driving you nuts or blah, 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 like the guy that did in the video the other day about the truck. I love those guys. It tells me that I got to them, because anytime they leave a comment like that, it tells you that you're either they hate what you're doing, or they're jealous about something, or there's something that bothers them, and they have to go and put a comment like that out there, and it just makes them look small, weak. We're almost through this. And then the only thing we got left is the canyon. And then you drop into Glenwood Springs. Everybody knows Glenwood Springs. It's where you go and sit in that hot, stinky water. All right, let's slow her down a little bit. Hope you never have to use one of them truck ramps. And some of you guys out there that I know were truckers before you started doing this RV transport, has that ever happened to you? Because in my opinion, that's got to be scary as shit, hitting that sand, sinking down and coming to a complete stop like that. I would think you'd shit yourself, in my opinion, but I am curious about that though. Never really talked to anybody that's had that happen to them. So if you have, leave it in the comments. Give that experience to these guys that have never done this before, so they think about that and they pay attention. But anyways, the only thing left on this route is Glenwood Springs, and you got to go through the Glenwood Canyon. And that is like one of them things that's a pretty cool thing if you've never been there before, because basically the road that I'm going across this time is lifted above the canyon, and you drive through this road that's been lifted above the canyon. So I'm sure that was a major deal. I'm sure you can search it on YouTube or the internet, and Glenwood Springs Canyon Road. But I know when I come the other way, you look up and you see the road above you there. It's all on stilts going through that whole canyon. And it gets shut down a lot of times in the summer, right after the winter, because rocks fall and block the canyon, and it takes a while for them to get it all cleaned up. But now you just saw what I've went through. Now imagine going down this with 10 or 15,000 pounds pushing you and being ice and snow. Okay. So it kind of gives you an idea why you don't want to be going through here if you don't have to. Find a place to. There's some real nice scenery areas. If you've got heat for your truck or you can run your truck, there's some places where you can pull over and spend the night and just have one of the most beautiful views you've ever had. And heck, pop out your grill, throw on a burger or something. If you have your truck and everything set up right, have your wife or your girlfriend with you, and it could be one of those moments you'll remember forever. You won't have to look at it as how you had to sit there all night and not make no money. You turned it into something else. That's what you got to do. You got to turn the bad into something good. That's what this channel's about. That's what me and Robin are about. And that's what we're trying to get out there to everybody. Even if something's bad, turn it around. Make it where you get the good out of it. And keep on trucking. Look at that view. Do you see that up there? I don't know. Like I said, let me know what you think of these videos when I do them like this. I mean, you just got William, Dr. Bill, giving you his opinion about everything. Take out of it what you want and throw the rest away. Maybe you'll get the best part of it out of there. It'll help you someday. I can tell you a story about how I got to that point. Maybe down the road I will. And no, guys, no drug addictions, no alcohol addictions. Never had those problems. Thank God. Life's hard enough as it is, so I feel sorry for the people that do have those problems. That's just not one of the things. I could have a drink today and not have another drink for 10 years. And that's probably because I was raised around those people that, I had a stepdad that when he was home, he would drink until he couldn't stand back up. And he'd do that until he was home. And then he'd climb in a semi-truck and leave us for a week and never have a drink. I have a feeling that the reason he did that stuff is maybe this lifestyle did that to him. Those are the things you think about after you get out here on the road. You don't have nobody with you. You're just in your own thoughts and dealing with the people. It's made me think that maybe that's how he handled that. So sometimes we have to judge ourselves before we judge other people. All right, it's the beginning of the canyon. Next 14 miles, guys, 14 miles. Yeah, I won't make you watch all of this. That could be a long 14 miles. Let's just get in here a little bit. Yeah, it is called Glenwood. Glenwood, I wasn't sure it was Glenwood Springs Canyon, but it's called Glenwood Canyon. I just know once you get through the canyon, you drop in Glenwood Springs, kind of get the effect. Now, me and Robin came through in one of our other videos, the other direction. I don't know how many videos ago that was, but now we're going the opposite direction. So we'll, and the other one I put music to it. So maybe you guys like the music better than Dr. Bill. Dr. Bill's going to take the rest of the day off. So now you're just going to get William. Would you like the way I talk about myself as that third person? Some people might say I'm a little crazy, and I might be. You never know. It's usually the ones that think they're sane are actually the ones that are crazy. But check that out. And honestly, I'm not trying to make these videos super long to force you guys to watch them all. It's just the way it's been coming out. It's just, you want to do a video 30 to 45 minutes. If you really want it to get pushed out and get noticed, and if people actually like it and they watch it, that will boost your channel a lot. Me and Robin used to do 8 to 10 minute videos, and some people like that, but to believe it or not, YouTube didn't like it. YouTube does not like pushing those videos out. If I make them 35 to 45 minutes long, they seem to get pushed out. I seem to pick up a lot of new people. So if you're gonna try YouTube, you might try to make your videos longer. But starting out, sometimes it's hard to make your video that long and still try to keep it interesting, right? Because that's what it used to be for me. But now I have so much stuff to talk about that, or at least when you do it this way, you have more to talk about, because it's beautiful. It's a beautiful day. I mean, it's what? I must give you a date, because I don't even know. It's December 19th. Christmas is next week. And we're in the Rocky Mountains. And next week, we could be in Florida. So there is some kind of fun to this. I mean, not knowing where you're going to be is awesome, and then going with it is a lot of fun. But if you get greedy and you just turn this into a money grab, where as much as you can make, then you're going to burn yourself out. So you want to throw some fun in there, take some downtime, do something exciting. If you have a better half, show that person that half, because they're going to go batshit crazy if all they're doing is sitting in this passenger seat while you're driving and doing this. The money is nice, but I can tell you with experience, the moments outweigh the money. Money comes and goes all the time, and you'll waste it, you'll make more, but at the end of the day, it's just money. Money doesn't buy you happiness. It will let you do things sometimes that will make you happy. It will let you buy crap you don't need that you think will make you happy. Look at this bridge, you guys, or this road. It's the road I was talking about. So it can, it can let you believe you're happy, but it's not. Happiness is what's inside of you. I don't even believe this. I told you guys I was not bringing, stay over there, dude. I told you I was not bringing Dr. Bill out, and he just starts coming out. Well, let's just show you this. We should have a little tunnel coming up here too. Maybe I can get over in the other lane without Mr. Trucker trying to run me off the road. I don't know if he was just looking at the scenery and not paying attention. All right, here's our first little tunnel. Now, is this cool or what? This is what you came along for. You didn't come along for Dr. Bill, but the few people out there that listen to what he says, it could change your life. Pretty cool, huh? Look at that road. The other video, we're on the lower half. See, I should be working for, what is that called? Geographic? National Geographic? Yeah, it's National Geographic. It's been so long. When I grew up, I think they had it on TV, something like that I used to watch. But look at that. It's really cool when you have the snow glistening and a train's coming right through there on the other side, and you get that effect of the snow, the train blowing its horn. I mean, I've actually experienced some really cool things before coming through here. Yeah, at the moment you're thinking, oh my God, just get me through this nightmare. And then that happens, and that's now 20 years later, that's what I remember. I remember fighting the snow and the ice and having the train come through, and I remember how cool that was. So, I think that's the best part about getting older. You look back at those things and you're grateful that you had those experiences. And that's why me and Robin try to keep doing so much stuff. Because, you know, when I'm 90 and she's 80, and I'm sitting in that chair, she tells me I'll still remember what's going on, and she'll be the one that can't remember nothing. I can tell her these stories of all the cool things we did. At least that's our dream. Doesn't mean it's going to happen that way. That's why I tell you, to live the moment now. Don't put off tomorrow. Get your ass out here and enjoy life. If it's not with RV transport, you got plenty of money, just go enjoy life. Look at this tunnel. Kind of loud in here. Anyways, Craig came through here yesterday and he texted me a little while ago, and I said, you should have waited a day. It's absolutely beautiful. He said, I'm 4 hours away from getting this nightmare dropped off because his trip turned into a long trip. I met a few people. Well, I haven't met them. I've already met them, but I talked to a few people this week that their last trips were like the good and the bad. And he said he's going to tell, I think he said his brother-in-law was thinking about doing this. And he said now he can tell him about the good and the bad because all he's had is good all year since he's been doing this. And now he finally had the bad. Me and Robin had a bad. I think we spent 2 days in a hotel in Cheyenne, and it was a nasty hotel. And then they wanted us to spend one more day because the road was still closed. And I said, to hell with this. And we jumped in the truck and we went the back roads where there was no wind restriction. And we drove up to Montana. Like, I don't know, I bet you it was like at least 3 or 4 hours out of our way to get us around, and came back around and was able to do our delivery. So I ended up spending, extra fuel and time. The fuel cost exactly what the hotel would have cost for another night, so it didn't cost me any more there. And I ended up getting the thing delivered the next day, where it would have been another day after that. And then I got a reload. So the reload helped pick up some of the expenses. But yeah, that was, in my opinion, that's the only real bad thing I've had, guys. I know I've had snow conditions and wind, and this dually goes through the wind. I mean, that's another thing I need to throw out there. Everybody keeps asking me, do you need a dually? When I first started doing these videos, I said, you do not need a dually. And the reason I said that is because you don't need a dually. They require you to have a 3/4 ton truck or bigger, okay? But after doing this now and talking to guys that are running 3/4 ton trucks, it brought back old memories of when I had my dually and I sold it because I thought I needed a new truck, and I bought a 3/4 ton, and I remember almost getting blown off the road, and now those guys are telling me, hey man, I'm going through this wind, it's like 20 miles an hour and I can't keep this thing on the road. And I'm going, really? I mean, this truck doesn't have that problem. I mean, not at all. Those travel trailers, I'll set the chain links different on the hitch to get them to get the ass in to stop swinging. Is the only thing I ever do, because I usually set it in number 3, chain link, and that usually works. But every now and then I might have, depending on the wind conditions or depending on the trailer, I might have to put them in 2 or 4, and I can get that wind to stop making that back of that trailer swing and pop back and forth so much. But usually if I just put it in number 3, I'm good. And with this dually, no problems at all. I go through that type of wind all the time, don't think nothing of it. You know, 40 mile an hour wind, yeah, then I'm getting, they say you're supposed to get off the road at 25 is what Wade wants you to do. And I mean, that's probably the right thing to do, but half the time you drive through Wyoming, it's 20 to 25 mile an hour. It's just the way it is there. I mean, if you followed that rule totally, you would never be able to drive through Wyoming. So I'm not quite sure, you know, if that's, but if, I mean, you guys put it down in the comments, your experience, because me, I have driven through that type of wind with this truck. It feels safe. And now don't get me wrong, if it was a little 22-foot trailer that weighed 2,000 pounds or less, then I would not do it. But a lot of these I'm hauling are 7,500 pounds, even if it's a travel trailer. A lot of times I would rather take a 37-foot or a 32-foot or a 30-foot travel trailer over those small ones, because I get the same fuel mileage with a small one a lot of times that I do the big ones, especially if there's any wind. Now, if I'm going a different area, like that one that I brought back to Texas, I got great fuel mileage with that. There was no wind. It was pretty much downhill in flatlands once I got out of the hills. So that one got 14 miles per gallon. But normally, I can haul something bigger and get better fuel mileage, just like this fifth wheel right now. This fifth wheel, 13.8 miles per gallon going through the mountains. Well, probably because I went uphill a lot and then went downhill just as much, so it averaged out. But these things usually get anywhere from 10 to 12 for me, depending on the wind conditions. So those are all things you want to keep in your mind, guys. You'll learn that there's some trailers you can haul and get better fuel mileage than thinking, oh, I'll just get the little one. Sometimes that little one is back there whipping all over, and you don't want to drive down the road that way. Get something with a little more weight, handles better. So. But look at that. I found enough to talk about to get you through the canyon. That's the end of it right down there. So we're going to save you guys from driving into Glenwood Springs. The only thing left to do on this video is to get this thing delivered. And we'll go ahead and do that. And we'll put that at the end of the video. And we accomplished another trip. I think this is trip number 54. We made it. I'm going to tell you the best part about doing RV transport is when you get to the place and it's unhooked from your truck, okay? That is the best part. There's not a better feeling than knowing you got it here, all in good condition, with no issues, and it's not hooked to your truck no more. That's one thing you guys are gonna experience. You're gonna love that feeling right there. So, 65 degrees here, it's beautiful. I wanna get the hell out of here, so let's get back on the road. And always